everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. I think I see a little smoke coming out of my oven. I must have had a drizzle from something else. Okay, what I'm doing today is I am just making up a casserole. There's no name for this. It's just one of these things that I thought, what have I got? So we'll see how that it works. I've got about four cups of cubed, just golden potatoes. I like to cut them in small pieces, and that way they're bite-sized for Papa, and he can, it doesn't take as long for them to cook too. I've got some diced ham that I need to use up. I'm gonna put quite a little bit of that in there because Pop needs some meat, and that will work. This is sort of going to be everything but the kitchen sink. Okay, now I'm going to put in I think I will chop my onion. Hang on a second, let me grab my chopper. I must have spilled something in my oven because I see a little smoke coming out and I can smell it, you know. Let me just put that right there, and we will chop this onion. This is a whole onion. We'll cut that in half. That's a big old piece. I'd say there'll probably be at least a cup here, but I will measure it. A little bit, just a hair bit more than a cup. Okay? In case I need to chop something else. Hang on. I'm going to put that 1 cup of diced onions in there. I don't have a name for this. We'll figure that out when we finish, okay? I'm going to put in, let's see. No, that's too big. I'm going to put in 1 can of cream of chicken soup. I love these little things. If they don't clean it out better than anything you will find, they do. Now I'm going to put about, I'm going to put some heavy whipping cream in here, in this can. Well, I splattered that all over me. I'm going to put about 3/4 of a can. So, and this can is, it's just cream of chicken, and it's 10.5 ounces. So I'm going to stir this up a little bit to make sure if there's anything, look at this. If there's anything in there that it'll come on out. Then I'm going to clean this mess up before we come back, okay? We got everything cleaned up, unless it's on me. I didn't look on me. I have some Dean's French onion dip, okay? French onion dip. I'm going to put in about half this container. You can see I got it right down through the center. Let me get the rest of what's on that side. Trying to think of what else. Oh, I have almost 8 ounces. This is just 4-state cheddar. It's just a mixture of cheddar. I'm going to put about half of this. Yeah, I'll put about half of that. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. My grinder here does not put out a whole lot of salt. So I'm just going to tell you, I can do this for 5 minutes to get a teaspoon. So, put that there. Then we're going to put some pepper Like I said, I haven't even looked at a recipe. If y'all think I have, I haven't. This is just what I walked in here and looked in my kitchen and pulled out the drawer and said, okay, need to use up that ham. Okay, need to use up, yeah, need to use up a bunch of this stuff. Let me see what else. This is one of those things where you stir it up and look at what you've got, and you see if you need to add maybe some sour cream. Instead of sour cream, I'm gonna add the rest of my French onion dip. And this is a 16-ounce container. 16-ounce container. Here, Sadie. There you go. That's just like flavored sour cream. You know what I'm saying? So why not? Since I'm already after onion in here, now I'm going to add a little onion powder and a little garlic powder. I definitely just touched my finger and tasted it. This is the onion powder. I'm going to put a teaspoon of onion powder, and I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Then I'm going to add in the rest of that cheese. I've decided to use the whole 7.5 ounce bag of cheese. Ruby, you just, now I can taste a little bit because I couldn't even taste the onion in it. Okay, I've had some frozen, fresh market side green beans. Oh, there's gonna be some barking because here comes the Upsy man. Hang on a minute. Now, we took care of that. I'm gonna put in, I'm going to start out with well, that's more than a half. I'll just put the whole thing in. I don't know if I'll fit it in this dish or not. I'm just going to mix it up. You can probably could have laid the beans on top if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to mix it all up. Let's see if we can get all this in there. I sprayed my dish. I'm going to sort of push those green beans all over the dish, so with each bite you get a little bit of green beans. You know, I have just a tad bit left of that ham. I might just go ahead and put that ham in there because I don't think it's enough ham to make anything out of. Now, let's spread this out. We got potatoes, we got ham, we got green beans. This could be a one dish meal, really. You know, and some people, they could just mix it in their dish. I don't like to mix mine in the dish. I like to mix mine in a bowl and then pour it in the dish. But to each their own. If that makes it simpler, we're in a generation where everything's fast and easy, right? Fast and easy. Okay. Let me rinse my hands real quick. And grab my towel. Now, I have melted a half of a stick, not a whole stick, but a half of a stick of butter, okay? Whew. And that there. I will get that out of the all depends on how much you want to put, but I'm going to do at least a couple Ritz crackers. You know what I'm talking about? Let's mash them and then mash them up real good. I'm gonna roll it between my fingers because I'm gonna tell you something. This weather, ooh, I don't know how many of the rest of you is like this, but this weather, last night my knuckles and my joints were stinging and burning. And I told my husband, I was like, oh Lord, winter is coming. Winter is coming. I'm gonna sprinkle the rest of this ham around on top. Now this is a dish that makes a lot, okay? So you'll be able to share this with somebody else. And I'm gonna tell you, we're coming into a time where people, you know, our government is shut down, and people that normally get, I think it's called SNAP, which helps mothers and children and stuff like that, they're not gonna be able to get it. And I hate to say this, but they need to straighten up there. They need to straighten up. They're still drawing their checks. You don't normally hear me saying this stuff, but when people can't eat, that's when you get on my last nerve. And so I'm saying, if you make a big meal like this and you can share it with somebody, please share it. Share it with that family down the road that you know may be struggling or something. I've said this before, but you know, I want y'all to know that it breaks my heart to think people don't have food. People don't have food. I'll just grab the first spoon I come to there. And stir this up. Had a half of a stick of butter and 2 of those snack size Ritz crackers, just crumbled up and crushed up. I don't know when, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. I have scrubbed my sink. I never thought I would ever come to the point where I'd want a sink. It don't matter what I do to that sink, I cannot keep it clean. And that, you know, I'm a fanatic, so it's just more than, it drives me crazy. Then the other day, well, it's been a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks ago, my faucet, the top of my faucet broke off. So I've been rigging it back up, just trying to do videos. So I told Pop, I said, I'm going to have to buy me a sink. And really, I mean, who wouldn't want new countertops? But no, I'm not doing that. I just get what I need. And I do need a new sink and faucet. So I hope you all will get to see me getting one before long. I picked out my sink. I just need to make sure it's going to fit, you know. Let me get a little bit of detergent here and wash my hands. I'm sorry. Now, don't that look good? I'm going to, I think I'm going to bake it at 350. I'd say it'll probably need to be in there about an hour. You know, it'll probably need to be in there about an hour, 50 to 60 minutes. But I'll let you know. We want the potatoes to be nice and soft. We want the beans to be done. But don't that look good? Okay, now the next question. Do I want to cover it or do I want to not? I think I might cover it just for a little while, and then maybe the first 30 minutes leave it covered. I want it to steam in there and get those potatoes done. I probably could have baked this on a higher temperature. Now, my oven is already preheated, so I'm going to get it in here, and we'll get it going. Yes, I see the smoke. Whoo-wee. I will see y'all back in a little while and let you know how long I left it. Let's get this thing out of the oven, okay? Ooh, my glasses are fogging up. Now, look how hot, hot and bubbly. I'm not going to get out a dish of this, okay? Because I can tell you right now, let me cancel my thing. Let me cancel if I can see it and let the heat come out in the house. I was going to tell you, I'm going to let that totally cool because it needs to settle. It needs to just settle and you know, it's just bubbly and everything. You can't eat anything like that. But I will definitely come back on and let you know when I try it tonight. I will try it. I put just a little bit of, I've still got some herbs and stuff from my garden. I put just a little bit of parsley on the top that I keep in my refrigerator. But look, let me see if I can lift it up there so y'all can see it. Oh, it's so hot and it's so big. If you're making this, I will try to write down a recipe for you. But remember, cut this in half and do it like in an 8x8 or a 9x9 unless you're feeding a family or taking it to church or taking it someplace that is going to be, you know, where everybody's going to be eating a whole lot. This is going to be delicious. There's no doubt in my mind it won't. There's no doubt in my mind. But just want to talk to you in just a second. Just going to let it sit there and cool. But I want to tell y'all that how much you mean to me, how much that I love y'all and I appreciate you. You know, I really do, and I appreciate you sharing my videos. I was just blown away when I got to, like it was like over 400 and some thousand people following. I just couldn't believe, and Facebook gives me a little notice and tells me that a lot of people, like I've said, they come in every day and they watch with me, but they don't follow. Please follow. If you're not following, please follow me. If I had all the people that are off on these fake pages that are being scammed, thinking it's me and it's not, you know, then the numbers would be a lot bigger. And I ain't all about numbers. Y'all know me. I ain't been about numbers since I started this. I appreciate so much each one of you all. I know we do have a few bad apples, and I try to, how do you say it? I try to weed those out. I don't want them saying things that are real ugly on the page. I'm not going to have that stuff, and so, but, you know, you all are so good to me, and you love me, and I love you all. Yins are like family to me. So I just want to say how much that I do care for you and how much the good Lord cares about you. Don't forget that today. If you make this and you've got, you know, you've got a neighbor that needs help, take them a dish of it. They'd be thrilled to death. They wouldn't need anything else. There's a little bread on top. They've got potatoes. They've got ham. They've got, you know, the seasonings like onions and things like that in there. They've got green beans. Don't you think that's really going to be good? And potatoes. Those potatoes, you know. Let's not forget that. So I'm just going to hush and I'm going to let y'all go. I've kept you too long already. But just want you to know how much the good Lord loves you, and that if you make this, be sure and share with somebody. If you make a big one like that, you ought to smell. It smells delicious. So I'm going to go, and I will see you next time, Lord willing, and maybe we can do another recipe together, okay? I love y'all. Bye-bye.